Hey guys, Dell here today, and I want to talk with you about something that's been on my mind, and I've been struggling with how to share this idea, and I just decided to go for it. It's going to be something that a lot of people are looking for buying leather jackets online, and for many folks, one of their core questions that they're asking about these leather jackets that they're looking for online, they are being lied to. They're being lied to about the answer that they're looking for. And the question is where to find affordable jackets online. And there is an army of low quality, low tier leather jacket makers, bloggers, affiliate salespeople, listicle aggregators, YouTube personalities, and influencers of all sorts who are lying to people who ask this question. So hopefully I can reach some people that are asking the question where to buy affordable leather jackets online and give you the correct answer, in my opinion, the true answer, and one that is not just trying to make a buck off of you. And so the bottom line is, if we're talking about affordability, we have to set a baseline for what a good jacket will cost. And if someone tells you a number that they just pull out of the air, then they're probably lying to you. That's just how it is. Or they're just making a guess. And how useful is that? So let's start with some real numbers. What is an affordable, high-quality leather jacket? Now, the truth of the matter is that there's really no getting around it. Leather jackets, good ones, they're expensive. They're kind of really expensive. So taking kind of a American classic that still has their factory in the United States, we'll use Schott NYC as a baseline here. And their kind of standard motorcycle jacket, which is the Schott 618. It cost $870. Today, at least. And this jacket is a great jacket. It's not to the level of some really intense Japanese repro using materials as they were, 70 years ago today level of construction material, nor is their stitching, applied as though by lasers doing the work. Okay, but it's good work. And it's a good jacket, and it will stand the test of time, and it is the authentic item, right? So $870, so if you're looking at a jacket that costs less than $870, you have to ask yourself, what corners are being cut? And truly, the answer is pretty straightforward. They're cutting on materials for the leather, for the hardware. They're cutting on the fit and fitment and wearability of the jacket. They're cutting on the quality of the work of the assembly and the stitch work. They're cutting on where the jacket is being produced and the living wage of people that are being paid to make your jacket. They're cutting perhaps all of those things. And so in the end, if you're paying less than this bottom floor price of Schott's, then you have to imagine you're getting some kind of lesser item. Now, let's take a less expensive competitor to Schott, Vanson. Their equivalent design style jacket is around $800 instead of $870. So we see a brand premium of around $70 for Schott. You're not going to get that much lower than around $800-ish for regular retail price for one of these, kind of setting the standard style jackets. Now, we could imagine that occasionally they go on sale. Maybe Black Friday, maybe once a year, Schott will have a 20% off sale or something like that. And so we can imagine even setting, what if you just have, you just wait for Schott to have a sale? Okay, so we'll take their $870 and we'll take $160 off of it or whatever it ends up being. And even rounding up a bit, we'll say we'll go all the way down to $600 or $650 for a discounted new jacket from a quality maker like Schott. So if you're under that range, 650, 670 or so, clearly you're in that cutting corners range, right? And so you're sacrificing one of the important pillars of your jacket. And, you know, what does this mean? What does it matter? Does it matter if I'm paying less for a jacket? You know, well, each of those, you know, things that you could be skimping on do matter, whether it's the ethics of the production. Okay, say you don't care about ethics, fine. But you'll also probably be seeing it won't look right. It won't fit right. It'll wear out instead of wearing in. And you'll look like you're wearing a costume version of a jacket rather than the real deal. And when we're talking about a jacket that is a statement piece, and you're wearing one that looks like it could be costumery, this ain't great unless you're literally wearing it as a costume for Halloween or a convention. Okay. So I really have to encourage you to say no to these producers that are cutting corners and to really go for the real deal. And so how do we make the real deal affordable? You know, this question is, how do we find affordable quality jackets, right? Well, the answer is you're not going to find it from a retailer. You're going to find them used. You're going to buy these used awesome jackets on eBay or Poshmark or Grailed or at a forum like Fedora Lounge or Style Forum or the Ironheart forums. And that way you can get a jacket that will stand the test of time, that will be made of quality materials, that will be made well with those quality materials, that will have the right fit and wear properly when it's on your body, and that will last forever and actually be an heirloom item rather than just a piece of flim-flam. And so, you know, there is a big question here about buying used, and we'll get to maybe your objections to it in just a minute. But I have to say, buying used is awesome. Buying used is great. You can buy used, and on the regular, you will find prices that are 20 or 30% off of the regular retail price of the asking price from Schott or Vanson or wherever. It's just expected that you'll be paying less because you're buying used. And so you're already hitting those Black Friday deals just as a matter of course when you decide to buy used. And you're also getting a jacket that has some wear on it. This is good for two reasons. One, it is a kind of colloquialism now. It's a well-known fact, I suppose. The worst a leather jacket looks is the first day you have it, and the first wear that it gets is the worst it will look, because these are items that look better with wear. A good jacket will. And so by buying used, you're already kind of advancing on that looking better with age thing. And the second part is, by buying used and getting a worn jacket, it is broken in a little bit for you. And that makes it easier to wear. And it will make it an easier process to get those wears in. You don't have to work for it. Some of that work has been put in for you. People say mold to your body and all this other kind of stuff. I mean, to be fair, the areas that are wearing are going to be the same for most people. The elbows, for example, will get some wear on them. You know, the arms in particular will age more quickly than the rest of the jacket for most wearers. But that being said, there's still, for an heirloom item, if it's got some wear on it, unless you're buying a jacket that's absolutely thrashed, you'll still be able to make your mark on this jacket. So we're winning on affordability, we're winning on looks, and we're winning on wear by going used. All right? It's winning, winning, winning. Now, the problem, the downside to buying used. Okay, well, you're buying from a particular person. You probably won't be able to return this jacket. Okay, this is an understandable concern. You're dropping big bucks on a jacket, and you can't return it. Man, I really don't want to spend $400 for something I can't return. Okay, so this is where there's a whole kind of lesson to be taught here, and I could do a separate video on buying used and a bunch of stuff to look at. The main thing to do is to get the size right. Go get yourself a jacket that you like. Look for it. I was just looking for something here. If you're able to, go to a store that has the exact model that you are looking for and try it on, and then you will know the size that works for you. If you don't have that luxury, if you own a jacket that you like the way it wears, whether it's a denim jacket or a leather jacket, you can use that to base your search on, and you get the measurements for that jacket. You get yourself a tape measure, and you measure that jacket. You measure it from the chest measurements, the length, this other kind of stuff. I'm going to show you here some pictures of what that looks like. Get those measurements. Get them. And then ask for those exact measurements from the seller, and ask them to give them to you by even showing them the measurements that you have, or these measurements, so that you have a format, that you have a standardized format for getting your measurements to compare against something that someone is selling, so that you know what works for you, and you can be sure that what they're selling works for you too. Now, that being said, there is some wiggle room here. The chest measurement is the most important to get. Say you don't have a jacket to measure, measure yourself, okay? Tape measure. If you're buying an off-the-rack jacket, the most important measurement is the chest. You put it around your chest, you relax, put your arms down. You can see on me, I get between 40 and 41 inches. That's your magic number. There are other numbers that matter. Length tends to be more subjective, but it is built around your chest measurement. And so if you have a good chest measurement on you, there's kind of an idea here where you don't buy a jacket that has the exact measurement of your chest, or it will be painted on your body. You will not be able to wear it. Probably won't be able to zip it up. So what you do is you take that measurement. So I had around, say, 40, 41 inches. Then you add ease into it. So say at 43 inches, for me, that's a t-shirt. I could wear a t-shirt under that jacket. At 44 inches, I could wear a t-shirt and a sweater, a nice thick shirt and a hoodie, that kind of thing. At 45 inches, we're getting to the outer limit of what works for me, and I could wear really heavy layers under a jacket. And so that kind of, just give yourself, you know, 1.5 inches or 2 inches for a standard amount of t-shirt fit. Go up to maybe 3 inches for 3.5 inches perhaps for sweater, light sweater fit, all the way up to, you know, maybe 4-ish inches for a bigger fit. You know, you could go up to 5 or 6 even, depending on how much heavy layers you're wearing, what you're doing with this jacket. So that's just like a guideline. I will do a fuller dissection of this idea, but get an idea for what fits. Once you ask a seller on eBay or any of these other places to confirm for you these measurements, if they send you an item that does not actually match them, you can send it back. eBay and PayPal will protect you from the duplicitous sellers that will tell you what a false measurement in the hopes of getting you to buy it. So as long as you have proofs of those communications, you'll always be able to win a return, even on a no return item. So this eliminates the major concern. Once you know the best idea for fitment, and you can confirm that with the seller, don't take the risk. You really should confirm this, because this is your golden ticket to returning an item that is you've been lied to about. You're golden. And so now you're buying used items, these are more affordable items, at a Black Friday deal every time, or maybe better. And this is when it really gets to the big point where we're talking affordability here. How affordable can we really get? Well, the answer is pretty straightforward. If you are willing to pay with some patience, that 20 or 30% discount that you can expect just very easily to find for a used item can go down to a 40% off, 50% off, occasionally 60% off of regular retail price. You can buy items used for very low prices compared to the full price. So, you know, this $870 jacket from Schott, maybe you can buy it for $350 or $300. What you have to do is you have to pay with some patience to get that. Just do some waiting. Set up some searches on eBay. Go to the forum and look at their classifieds, you know, once or twice a week. Just check it out. And as long as you've got your toes in the water, eventually you'll find something that that comes to you that's just right for you, that's at a price that is within your ballpark. Now, I mean, we are talking about leather jackets. The cheapest that I've seen these kind of, you know, knockoff, like fake costumery type ones go for, it tends to be maybe $175 or $200. You're going to have a hard time finding a really awesome jacket at that price, but you can definitely spend a little bit more money on a used jacket and get just a top tier Schott jacket, you know, in this motorcycle style, the cross zip, or the straight zip cafe racer, or in one of the aviator styles. These really commonly bought and sold styles for $300 or $400, as long as you're willing to wait. And so you know, when people are saying, where's the most affordable place to buy jackets online? It is not one particular seller. It is not LAC. It is not Independence Brothers. It's not. It's eBay and other used places. So I'd be curious what you take if you've bought one of these jackets from one of these kind of sellers that's maybe telling you their jacket's awesome and all you have to do is pay their low price and you'll be happy forever. If you have been happy with that jacket or if you felt deceived, I'd be curious if you've bought used. I'd be curious also if you've been afraid to buy used and what are the other questions you have, because that's my next kind of video, is a deeper dive on the used buying process. And thanks for watching, and I hope I've reached a few people to save you from just don't buy those faux jackets. Don't do it.